All right, what's up, fucks? Welcome to Casting Couch. Ooh, it's kind of echoey in here. You hear that?
No.
But I don't know if it's being... I think I just hear it, like, in the room, not getting picked up by the microphone. But regardless, this episode, we're actually on an actual casting couch, you feel me? And a lot of people who watch this show, maybe you don't know what a casting couch is. Do you know what a casting couch is?
I think I do.
In the porn, you know?
Yeah.
So a casting couch is like a category of porn where it's like a girl's like first time doing a porno and she sits on a couch that looks like this and there's a dude behind the camera and he's asking like nasty ass questions, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yep. So that's casting couch if you were ever wondering like what does that mean? Why is the podcast named after that? Well, now you know. So we're on an actual casting couch this episode. And you guys got to let me know if you like this set more than the other couch. I feel like this set is kind of superior. Everything, there's so much more space. And the microphones, like the angle is much better. In the last episode, the fucking mic stand was like right here. And it was cutting off my face like half the episode. It was just kind of shitty. But regardless, welcome to episode 5. I took an edible right before this. So it might start kicking in here like any minute. So if I start getting really fucking dumb, that's why. But I'm here with my friend Sunrise, also known as Sarai, also known as Maggie, also...
I know a lot of names.
She is Latina, so she has 17 different names.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So welcome to the podcast. How are you doing this fine evening?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm pretty swell. So we were talking about the last episode of the podcast, and if you guys haven't watched that one... Go check that shit out or listen to it. Oh, fuck. I just clipped the mic so hard. I'm sorry if I just molested your ears. Let me adjust this really quick. I think this cable. Oh, yeah. You hear that? You hear how it's much better? Ah! You hear that now?
Yes.
Yeah. So the headphone splitter was kind of fucked up. Now it's good. So welcome. Episode 5. How are you guys doing today? Make it like a Dora episode. How are you guys?
Daniel.
Sorry. Did you watch a lot of Dora when you were a kid?
No.
Yeah, I didn't fuck with Dora. I thought Dora was hella annoying when I was a kid. I was like, this shit sucks, Mom. Put on some SpongeBob put on some real shit.
She was like scary. And when I was growing up, this was when YouTube was like first out. And so they had all those Dora parodies that were actually creepy.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Holy shit. Throwback. Yeah. So, damn. Yeah, good memories. If you grew up in the early 2000s with like Drake and Josh, SpongeBob. Oh man, I fucking loved Drake and Josh. Did you watch any Drake and Josh when you were a kid?
Yeah, I like watched it when new episodes came out still. So that's was a
fire.
Long time ago.
That was 2004 when the first season aired.
I was like 5.
That's fucking crazy. So,
how old were you?
2004, I was 2 years old.
You were 2?
Wait. Yeah. Because I was born in late 2001. So I was like 2 for most of the year and then 3 at the end of the year. So realistically, I wasn't watching Drake and Josh until probably like 2005, 2006, when I was like 4 or 5, you feel me?
Yeah.
But regardless, welcome to the podcast. A real quick announcement. Sorry, I'm just all over the fucking place. Yeah, if you haven't watched the last episode, go check that shit out. That shit was incredible. Like, shout out to Amy for being on the podcast. Your favorite episode. Go check that out. Just a real quick announcement for anyone listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts, Google Podcasts. If you're listening on any of those platforms, check out my fucking YouTube channel, which is just Chappy Tits. If you type that in the search bar, it'll come straight up. And also, check out Snapchat and Instagram, also just at Chappy Tits. Do you want to plug anything? So you should plug at the end of the episode after we've heard everything from you and shit, so like people can get a chance to know you and decide whether or not they want to commit to your content, you feel me?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, I have a lot of things to plug.
Yeah, very true. Oh, you know what I just thought about? You have so many followers. Are you gonna like advertise this video? Like, go check it out, guys.
Yeah, I told you to make me a clip.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah, sick. That's a win-win for both of us.
Am I like the first person that's been on this podcast that
actually has a presence? Yes, you are.
Okay.
So, yeah. One thing I wanted to talk about is clothes. Because today I actually decided to put on some clothes that wasn't a pair of gym shorts and a random t-shirt from my dresser. Today I wanted to look kind of cute. And my attitude towards like style and dressing and shit is pretty weird. Like, I feel like a lot of the time in my day-to-day life, I'm just like, who am I trying to impress? You feel me?
I feel like you have really good style. Like, I remember when you would show up to campus, you always dressed really nice.
Like in high school?
Yeah, and like I never felt like you were the type of person that dresses to impress. I felt like you just dress nice because you have a good style.
Well, I appreciate that, but I definitely don't agree. I haven't bought clothes since like senior year of high school. Actually, not true. This shirt is pretty new. But my style has been the same since I was in high school. Like, it's like weird, like skateboarder / semi-stoner style. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's not a bad thing though, because you're young, so it's not like it's weird for your age right now because you're only like 21. So it's like, okay. I feel like if you wore this and you were 27, 28, it would be weird. Does that make sense?
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't think this style would be weird if I was 27.
If you were closer to your 30s, it would be a little bit
Why
weird.
would it be weird?
'Cause you're-
Eternal youth, a youthful energy.
I feel like I wouldn't care, but I know a lot of people would judge you for that, you know? If that makes sense.
Like who?
I don't know, like if you apply for a job or you go to work.
Well, I'm obviously not going to wear this shit to a job interview.
Well, I'm saying like if you go to work like that or if you go out like that, maybe people will have some like opinions, you know?
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so my relationship with style is like, sometimes I want to dress so I feel like I look nice, but I feel like I definitely don't keep up with what style is like trending. You feel me? A lot of people who keep up with like trending styles, you know, people compliment them a lot. Oh my God, you dress so nice. And that's fair, totally. But I just feel like personally, I don't care enough about style to really put that much effort and put that much money into it. You feel me? Which I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm fucking cool. I don't care about how I look. It's like, I don't know. It's just, there's so many other things on my mind besides like what clothes I'm wearing. You feel me? Like I'd much rather buy a new microphone or buy a better camera or some shit for my videos. Like I just have other shit I'd rather invest in. But I don't know. Maybe I should like worry more about my style and worry more about. What do you think? Should I worry more? I don't think I should. I don't give a fuck. But what's your opinion on style? What's your opinion on like dressing nice, looking nice, etc.?
I don't think you should worry about what other people think. I think if you want to dress like the same style, like you're good. If you want to change and like elevate yourself, like you can do that. Me personally, like I'm weird because I work Monday through Friday, so I don't really care about what I wear. So I always be wearing like black leggings because I own like 90 pairs and like just a simple shirt.
100%. I feel that. I own like 17 white t-shirts. I cycle through them all week long.
Yeah, but then like the weekend comes, if I go out to the club or go out to the bar or whatever, like I definitely dress like completely different. And like the clothes that I dress in are hella more expensive than like my normal everyday clothes. So like, yeah, you can definitely.
I feel that you have like a balance because like when you don't really care about looking nice and impressing people, you'll just wear black leggings, random t-shirt, whatever. Don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. Don't put on makeup. Who gives a fuck? That's how I am too. But sometimes like I'm like, hey, I kind of do want to look nice, which is like probably once a month.
Yeah.
If that.
I like usually only get ready to go out or if I'm filming. That's about it.
Yeah, that's fair. So what kind of content do you make? Like what platforms are you on? What do you do? What's your job?
My job.
Not your day job, but like what do you fucking do, dude?
So my normal content is kind of fitness, but more like body positivity and
are you into
self-improvement.
Fitness?
You already know the answer.
What?
Yes.
Fitness dick in your mouth?
Shut up.
Got him. Ah. Fucking got him. Fucking pussy. All right, guys, that's the end of the episode. Nah, just fucking. So, yeah, what do you make? Fitness content?
So, I used
I'm just... Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Daniel.
I'm sorry.
What?
This is way more like close and personal than the other couch. The other couch, we were like kind of diagonal, but this time we're sitting like ass cheek to ass cheek, like a foot away. What are your thoughts on that? Well, you didn't film with me on the other couch, so I guess you don't really know. This is all you know.
But I sit with you on the other couch.
Okay, fair.
So I feel like when I sit on the other couch and I can look at you when we're talking, but like on this couch, I'd be like, do I look at this camera? Do I look at you? I don't really know.
I think it kind of works because you can look sort of diagonally, and then the camera will get that nice like side profile. I feel like that's a really good angle for me personally. I guess it varies person to person, but like this angle I feel like is pretty good for me.
For you?
Yeah, so maybe I'll keep filming this way. I don't know. Let me know in the comments or send me a text, whatever. Just let me know what you think of this new set, the new casting couch. I definitely want to put something on the wall because this shit is bare as fuck. So boring. But I mean, it's okay. You feel me?
Yeah.
What if I just edit in like a logo above us?
That could be cool.
I guess, but if I put my hand over it like this, then it'll just look fucking stupid.
You know what logo I thought of when you said put a logo up there?
What?
NFN?
NFN. Dude, shout out to NFN. We talked about that in episode 3. It's on my channel if you want to go check that out. But yeah, so you make fitness content.
Yes, I do. But I used to post a lot of workout videos, but that was when I had someone to film me. But now I don't really have that anymore, and so I film a lot of body positivity, so thirst traps, but because I am a big girl, a lot of people are like, yay.
What term do you prefer to describe your physique? Plus size?
Yeah.
You just like being called a plus size woman?
Yes.
Or a BBW?
No.
Nope. Okay. Dude, you know what's funny? I was at work the other day. I was walking through the office part of my job, and one of the signs on the door said some lady's name, fucking Claire Baxter or some shit. And then it said BCW. And for a sec, I thought it said BBW. And I was like, Claire Baxter, BBW. That'd be fucking funny.
I feel like I don't like BBW because...
If you don't know what that means, it means big, beautiful woman.
But wait, some people say
it's also a porn category.
But some people say it's beautiful black woman. That's what it stands for.
Oh, dude.
That's
if you're a BBW, a beautiful black woman, slide into my DMs, please. God damn. My Instagram is @chappytits.
But that's why I don't do BBW because I'm not black.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting you. I was going to say or if you're Middle Eastern, Indian, pretty much anything besides a white woman, feel free to slide in my DMs.
Daniel.
I'm sorry. It's not racist. It's just a personal preference. I'm sorry.
I know.
I can't help it.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, so you don't like BBW because you don't want people to think this bitch isn't black.
Well, a lot of people think I'm mixed. They think I'm part black and Latina, so Afro-Latina.
Okay, yeah, I can kind of see that happening.
Especially because my hair is super curly.
But isn't that a pretty common thing for Latinos?
No, actually, if you're super pure Latina, or in my case, Mexican, super pure, you have straight hair. That's why Melanie has straight hair.
No fucking Melanie's your sister?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then...
Shout out Melanie.
But then because
Do you
my
think
hair...
she's going to listen to this?
Yeah, she might.
Dude, shout out.
But because my hair is curly, a lot of people think that somewhere along my line, because I am Native Mexican and Mayan and Aztec, they think maybe someone...
From Africa got mixed in there?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's when my hair is super curly, is what they think.
That could be a very real possibility. I could see that happening.
But I need to take what is it? 23andMe? Yeah, to find that out.
Okay. Aren't you 23?
I am 23.
Dude, 23 and you.
Yeah.
Sick, sis.
I'm
fucking weirdo.
Being 23 is weird because I can almost say that I'm in my mid-20s.
Yeah, I think 24 is when you can say it. Because it's 20 to 23 early, 24 to 26 mid, 27 to 29 is late, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're almost there. I mean, not really. You have a whole year. Don't think about it so much. Just try and live your life. And even if you are in your mid-20s, that's literally a human's physical prime is 25.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be. Don't worry, sis.
It gets a little scary though because maybe one day I might want to have children and the prime age is between 23 and 26.
I thought prime age to have children, this is super fucked up, but I thought it was fucking 16 to 24.
No.
Super young. I thought when you're super young, you're mega fertile.
Well, your body's not ready. It's not matured enough because we go through...
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, because we go through the first, when you start your period, that's your first puberty. And then
Make sure you're talking directly in the mic.
There's a second puberty that women experience when you're older that no one talks about. And that's when
Menopause.
No.
What?
That's when you're in your 20s. If you look at a picture of when I'm, right now, 23 to when I was 16, I look so much different, but not just because of everything that's happened, but body wise. And so that happens. So that's why they say between 23 and 26 is a good time to have children because your eggs are at their peak.
That's very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, because then after 26, the quality of your eggs start to decline because, you know, if you have children when you're older, like there's more
geriatric motherhood.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. That's a super fucked up term because I think, aren't you considered geriatric mother if you're like over 30?
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't that fucked up, being 30 and being called geriatric? That's terrible. But anyways, so your content.
Yeah, so I do a lot of that.
So you just make a lot of shit on like what platforms? Like TikTok mostly?
Yeah, mostly TikTok. That's the one I grow the most because that's the one I get more like brand deals and stuff from. I do Instagram. I don't really do a lot of stuff on Snapchat, but people still follow me on there anyways.
Probably just like bleed over from your other platforms. They're just like, fuck yeah, I'll add this bitch on Snapchat real quick.
Yeah, because if you go on TikTok or Instagram and you click on my link tree, you literally have every single platform that I'm on there.
Link tree, what's that? It's just like a hub, like a website, like a web page where it just has all your shit.
Yeah.
That's kind of smart. I should make one.
You should.
Yeah, but the thing about my handle is it's super easy. It's just Chappy Tits. Like anyone knows how to spell that. And you can type it anywhere. Dude, I'm so grateful I have Chappy Tits on Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube. I had it on Twitter when I had a Twitter account, but I got really fucking bored of Twitter. And I got really bored of like annoying ass individuals who thought they were super entertaining, but were actually just fucking annoying. Not to be a big Debbie Downer or so negative, you feel me? But that's just how I felt. And I was like, this is not for me. You know?
I don't like Twitter.
Why not?
I think it's kind of pointless. I never saw like the actual value of Twitter. I know a lot of people do like beef and drama and they like to be entertained in that way. I've just never been the one to like entertain that. So I have a Twitter, but I don't ever really use it.
Let me tweet something on your Twitter.
No.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
So, do you want to talk about your OnlyFans?
I don't even have OnlyFans anymore.
I know, but do you want to talk about that whole chapter?
I mean, yeah, we could.
All right, so when did you start an OnlyFans? Why did you start it? Go.
So I started an OnlyFans during the pandemic, so that July. And I did it just to do it, just to say that I did it. And then I didn't really start posting until November of 2020. And it just kind of took off and I was making good money. But then I felt like it just really got in the way of like me wanting to do other things. So I deleted it and I don't use it anymore. But yeah.
So what was your experience like being in the porn industry technically?
I felt like it was so much work because you have to do your self advertising and you have to network a lot. There's a lot of networking and advertising. And like, if you're watching and you've done OnlyFans, you might know about it. You have to download this app. It's called Telegram, and you have to join these like rooms, and a bunch of other women from across the world who have OnlyFans are on there. And so you guys share each other on your pages, but like you have to take screenshots that you actually did it, and then screenshots of when you take it down, and you have to like keep it up for a certain amount of time or say certain words, or you can't do this or you can't do that. So there's a lot of rules and like just a lot of work. And I used to actually be an assistant to my homegirl who used to do it, and she would pay me $200 to do it, and so I would just do it along with my drops.
$200 every how often?
Every month.
Oh, that's not that much.
Yeah, but it was like easy because it's like mobile work, but it's just very time consuming because I felt like I was on my phone so much to do all the advertisement, which is why I did make so much money, because you know, like the more work you put into something, the more you get from it. And so like I was making good money, but you know, I'm in school, so I felt like I needed to stop so I could focus on school and like growing my TikTok. And once I stopped doing OnlyFans, that started growing more, and I started to figure out more of like what I wanted to do in school.
Okay, well that makes sense. So I have a little bit of information to share with the world. I too was part of the porn industry at one point in time.
Yeah, I remember.
I made one video. So from ages like 17 to 19, I convinced myself that I wanted to be a porn star, like as a career, like for the rest of my life. Like I convinced myself, because at that time I was like extremely horny all the fucking time, and I just like had no problem having casual sex all the time, and it didn't really fuck with me emotionally. I didn't really care. I didn't get attached or anything. So I don't know. It was just a passion of mine, and I was really like convinced that I want to be a porn star for the rest of my life. But, you know, the dick just ain't there. The high caliber dick is just not there. So that the realisticness of that idea, I mean, you can argue a lot of porn stars, male porn stars, have like pretty average sized dicks, and that's true. They're called. What's up? My fucking roommate Devin just walked in. What's up, dude?
How you guys doing?
So yeah, my dick is average. But some people can argue that that's called an intro cock. It's good for like women who want to do anal for their first time. Just get them an intro dick, like a 6-incher, put them in there, and then you're like good, you know? Because it's hard to... This guy, Devin, also is an intro cock, and that's all right. We have husband dick, you feel me?
You know...
There's a difference between husband cock and vacation dick.
I've seen your dick.
Yep, okay, that's super weird. That's out of context as fuck. You've seen the video. You've seen the porno. Okay, so... God, why do you gotta say it like that? Okay, no, just give me a sec. So, I filmed a porno when? Like, summer of 2021. Uploaded it. It got like 20,000 views. It was insane. And I really want to, like, read the title because the title of the video is super funny. But I have it on my fucking phone, so I can't pull it up. Oh, you know what? I'm going to pull it up on my laptop and read it because that shit is really funny and I want to read the title. Oh, but maybe I shouldn't because it kind of might reveal who it was with.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Okay, never mind. I'm not going to read it, but it was super funny and like disgustingly graphic. But anyways, I made a porno and it was way more successful than I thought it would be. And I was like, this shit is awesome. It got 20,000 views. It got like 2 comments. One of them was like, need more, bro. The other one was like, bro, get like a stabilizer for your camera. You were kind of shaking a lot. It was like a super genuine fucking criticism. And I was like, thanks, bro. Appreciate that. But, so yeah, you've seen my penis.
I feel like you're not intro. I feel like it's bigger than intro.
You think my dick is a smidge above intro dick?
Yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, I kind of disagree, but okay, I appreciate that anyways.
Okay.
But continue.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I remember you in high school saying you wanted to be a porn star. And I remember because I asked you what your long-term career was and you were like, I want to be a porn star. And then you told me your porn star name and I looked at you and I was like, this kid's got to be fucking with me right now.
My porn star name was Zac Steele.
No, it wasn't. Not at that time.
At that time, it was either Zach Johnson or Zach Longwood. It was at first it was Zach Longwood, but then I was like, my dick is not long enough to be called Longwood. Like, I was like I said, intro cock over here should be Zach Intro. But then I changed it to Zach Johnson. But then there was a professional golfer named Zach Johnson, so I had to change that. And then it became Zac Steele, which I still fuck with. It was kind of dope.
I like the names Zac Steele because I had an influencer friend. He's like off social media now, but his name was Xavier Steele.
Ooh, that's a powerful ass name.
It was, and he was a great person. I hope he's doing well.
Shout out to Xavier Steele, wherever you are.
Yeah.
Do you like the sticker of Ricardo on the back of my phone? Just giving us encouragement as we film?
Yep.
I got a sticker of Ricardo Milos on the back of my phone. If you don't know who that is, it's like the buff Brazilian guy who dances like in like the memes. Just look it up and you'll find him right away. Okay, so we should get into a topic of eating disorders.
Okay.
So, what is your experience with eating disorders? And then I will share my experience as well.
I think it's horrible, but I have...
Make sure you're talking directly in the mic. There you go. 1 inch away. There you go. There you go.
Right there?
Right there.
Okay. So I think it's horrible. I've told you before, and I've talked about it on social media before, that I have BED, which is bed, but it's binge eating disorder.
Oh, bed.
Yeah. So I have that, and I've had it since I was like 15 years old.
Wait, really quick. Do you know the YouTuber Wilma?
No.
Wilma balls fit in your mouth?
I fucking hate this kid.
Okay, sorry. Continue. You have bed.
Yeah, I have bed. So I developed it when I was 15 because my birth mom passed away. And I had a lot of trauma from that. And at the time I had a friend, we'll call her Love. And she would encourage me to skip school. And we would go and just eat food instead of actually talking about our feelings. And so that's kind of how I developed this eating disorder. But I already had an eating disorder prior because of my mom when I was growing up, because she would force feed me because she thought I was too skinny as a baby, because I was born only like 5 or 3 pounds. And so she was scared that I was going to be malnourished. So she would overfeed me. And so as I grew up, I always had like a messed up, like kind of sensation of how much food I should be eating because of that.
Super interesting and like super fucked up too. Like, I don't know what kind of parent, like, not to be all judgmental, but like what kind of parent, like, yeah, maybe it's one thing when your kid's a baby, give them more formula, but like when the kid's like 1 year old and at a healthy weight, like why the fuck do you continue that?
Yeah. And then a lot of it too, like growing up, like because my mom, like she grew up, so my mom was born in 1952. So growing up, like food was really like a scarce thing to her. So she doesn't like to waste food.
And your mom is from Mexico?
Yeah, we're from Mexico. I'm from Mexico. She's from Mexico. But so it was really like one of the things that I developed is like I can't just stop eating, like if there's still food on the plate, because I feel guilty, because she would make me feel guilty for not eating it.
It's like a super subconscious thing.
Yeah. And so now that I'm older, I have to be super mindful of like when I'm full and to stop eating. And like I'll take food home or I'll save it for later. And I always have to remind myself like, oh, like you can have this tomorrow, like it's not going to be gone or whatever, you know.
Leftovers are a thing.
Yeah. And so that's like a thing that I've been overcoming through binge eating disorder, but it's like a big toll on your mental health to always be super mindful.
What do you mean by that?
So like just being mindful of like, am I hungry or am I thirsty? I think it's called intuitive eating.
Yeah. Mindful eating, intuitive eating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
I've been trying that recently because I also have like, I wouldn't say an eating disorder, but like a strange relationship with food, which I'll get into when you're done sharing. But really quick, I'm going to check the camera and make sure we're still rolling, but you keep talking.
Okay. So yeah, for like the most part with my binge eating disorder, there was an extreme in 2020 during the pandemic where I was actually I had a okay relationship with food, because I was eating 1,500 calories, like between 1,500 and 1,800 calories. I was losing a lot of weight, but I was also building a lot of muscle. So I was losing fat. And I only lost, I think at that time, was like 15 to 20 pounds from where I'm at now. But I was like super way more fit then. And I feel like that was like my peak of like having a decent relationship with food. Whereas like later, like on in the pandemic when things got hard, or like before that time, I was having the worst relationship with food, with just binging all the time.
And how would you say your relationship is now with food in like today? How you doing?
I think it's okay. It's definitely like improving now, if that makes sense, because like I said, I'm being very mindful and I'm like cooking more, even though I have a weird phobia about cooking. Like I can't eat my own cooking, so I've been doing small things so I can get over that. And so that's been good. And I've been like way more mindful of how many calories I'm intaking and stuff. So I've lost like 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks from doing that. And I hope to continue that more.
You don't feel like it's like an unhealthy amount of weight loss? You feel like you're at a good pace and you're not like straight like starving yourself or anything?
Yeah, I feel like it's at a good pace. I'm not starving myself. I know for like one weekend I was, but that was because I got overly stressed. Sometimes like when I'm stressed, I like binge eat, but like if I'm very, very stressed, it like I get very... You just
kind of like forget to eat?
Yeah, I get really nauseous. I do a lot more sleeping and I like don't eat.
That's fair. I get that. Sometimes when you're like really, really occupied with something or really, really stressed, you just like don't have an appetite and then you don't even realize it, but like, holy fuck, I didn't eat like the whole day.
Yeah, it happens like that sometimes. So I feel like my relationship now with food is getting better, especially because I am taking that time to cook more. So that's always like a nice thing. Totally.
So my experience with eating and eating habits and shit, I don't know. I have a really weird history with food. So when I was like maybe like 11, like 4th grade-ish, I got really chubby out of nowhere. Like my eating habits didn't change. However, when I think back to when I was like 1st, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, I always ate a lot. I was always able to eat like so much food for how little I was. And my parents would always talk about it like, holy fuck, you eat a lot, kid. And I'm like, yeah, I do. But they're Russian, obviously. So it's like, wow, you eat a lot of food. Very crazy. Sorry, Jesus Christ. That was so like dramatic and not realistic at all. But so yeah, they would always comment on it, but at the same time they'd be like, I mean, you're not fat, so keep eating, I guess. You're okay. And I was like, all right, fair enough. And then when I was like 4th grade, out of nowhere, and I think this had a lot to do with like puberty and hormones and shit changing, like I just got really chubby just out of nowhere. Like I gained like 30 pounds of fat, like straight, maybe not 30, maybe like 20 pounds of fat, like significant change in the mid region, in the chins, in the face. And it fucked with me because I was like, why am I like this now? Like I used to be so thin and healthy, and it like, I don't know, it really took a toll on my like self-image and shit, and like my self-esteem and shit. It was fucked up, man. Like self-image, body image, that shit is like very real aspect of your mental health and shit, you know?
Yeah, I experienced kind of like a similar thing because when I was 15, before my mom passed away, it was 135 pounds. And then after she passed away in that first year, I think I got up to 175. And then from there, it just kept growing because she passed away when I was a sophomore. And by my senior year, when I graduated, I was like 330 pounds.
God damn.
So I gained a lot of weight, and that was from binge eating and stuff. And then I remember looking back on that, and I was like, I remember being 135 and thinking, oh my God, I'm so big. Like, what's wrong with me? And then when I was 330, I was like, oh my God, like, why did I call myself fat at 135? Like, I totally wasn't. And like right now I'm at 240, and I feel like...
So you've come down like 90 pounds. That's good. Very good.
And I'm trying right now to get to 235 because during the pandemic...
Light work, baby. Light work.
But... Because in the pandemic, when I was 235, because I had a good relationship with food and I was eating a lot of protein, I was doing body recomp. You know what that is, right?
Yeah, like when you're trying to restructure, like burn a bunch of fat and then build up a bunch of muscle.
Yeah, so I was 235 during the pandemic, but I was like the healthiest I had ever been.
You were swole as fuck.
Yeah, because I was like pressing 390 pounds.
Woo!
I was deadlifting 245. Woo! And I was just like really at the peak of like my fitness at 235. So I want to get back to that. And then after that, my next goal is to get down to 200.
I think you can absolutely do it. You got this, sis. Like, you're closer in your weight loss journey than you might think you are. You feel me?
Yeah. And like,
think about it. You've come so far. 330, now down to 240. Like, you can do another 90, no problem. Do you want to lose another 90?
Yeah, I don't try to worry about like the number as much. I try to worry more about like what I can physically do. So like one of the things I want to start doing is like building my endurance back up, because when I was 235, I did kayaking for the first time, but we went hard. We did 6 miles, and it wasn't 6 miles straight, but it was like in total from all the rounds we did was 6 miles. And I remember the next day I wasn't sore at all, and I was fine, but everyone else who had done it with us were super sore. And I remember thinking like, wow, like this is amazing. Like my endurance is so much, and like my recovery time, you know? Like,
yeah, even you being a plus size woman, it's still... It makes a huge difference if you're physically in good shape. You feel me?
Yeah.
You can be a skinny little fuck and be in dog shit shape and eat Cheetos and get high every night and not exercise a thing, and you're gonna be fucking out of shape. But you can also be like a plus size person and be in incredible shape.
Yeah, that's really true. So I'm trying not to like focus on the scale as much, but more on like building up my endurance. So I'm doing cardio before my workout, but then like I'm very particular about like how I work out when I weight lift. So I like sit down before and I like plan out all the stuff I'm going to do. I do that, and then I do some cardio after. Okay, that makes sense. For sure, Ski. But I'm going to go back to what I was talking about really quick. So I think I'm feeling that edible a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah? Yeah. Your eyes are kind of red. Really? Just a little bit. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. So, so I was 11. I was a little fatty. And I remember I felt really shitty about myself.
And for like maybe like a year or two, I was just kind of like sulking, like, oh, I'm fucking fat, boo-hoo. But then I just had this random like realization, and I was like, I don't have to be like this. I can change myself for the better, which is a big moment that a lot of people should, I feel like a lot of people do experience that moment in their lives, but it's like a very beautiful moment when you come into your own power and realize what you're capable of. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so at that moment, I was like 12 or 13, and my mom had like P90X DVDs. If you know what that is, shout out my boy Tony Horton. P90X is like a DVD workout program. So, yeah, my mom had all the DVDs, and I was like, fuck it, my mom's not going to do this shit. Like, she's not going to care if I use the P90X DVDs. So I did P90X at the age of like 12 or 13, and I did it like all the way through. I did like the whole 90 days. Or maybe I'm remembering wrong. Maybe I did like 60 days, but I know I did a very good portion of it. And that's when I started realizing like how much the food you eat affects you. Because like in the past, when I was a kid, like I was just eating like hella Oreos, eating hella processed food, like Hot Pockets all the damn time, like Red Baron, microwavable pizzas and shit. Like that was my whole diet, was just like processed foods. And like I can't blame my parents for that, because that shit was inexpensive. Just buy some Red Barons. Your kids are good for like a week. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like, I get it. It's like a super quick, easy solution to making sure your kids don't go hungry. And that's totally fine. But like, that's when I was realizing in my life, like the shit you put in your body makes a huge difference in the way you feel and the way you perform and the way you look and shit,
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't know that. Like, I'm in my bachelor's degree, I'm doing nutritional education. And so some of the classes that I've taken, I've realized so much that should be in our like normal like education system, so that people grow up and like know this shit, like the different nutrients that come from food, or why you should eat the rainbow. Like, you've heard that before, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people don't really know what that means. And so
eating the rainbow, that means just like eating food that's literally like different colors, like eat greens, like fucking lettuce, celery, shit like that, eat reds, like tomatoes.
Yeah, but do you know why people say that?
Why? Because
of all the different nutrients that are in, like,
yeah,
there's a word and I don't remember what it is. Y'all can Google it, but it's like every single color has a different like nutrients, and some kill cancer cells, some do like all this other stuff. But I had to write a report on it, so I should remember.
Antioxidants.
No, it's a different word.
Minerals.
No.
Vitamins.
No.
I don't know.
I'll tell you after this episode, because I can just look back on my notes.
Okay.
But yeah, like when I learned that, I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Make sure you're talking into the microphone.
And I wish like more people knew that, because I think a lot of people don't understand why you should eat like a variety of different foods.
You got to get all the food groups. You got to get all the nutrients. You feel me? The 7 essential nutrients of the human body. Do you remember all them? There's water, vitamins, minerals, proteins, carbohydrates, fiber. Oh God, there's one more. Electrolytes, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, so that's why it's important to have a well-balanced diet. And if you don't, like, a lot of people have lived their whole lives eating kind of shitty, and like, it is what it is. I'm not blaming them. I'm not judging them. Like, that's just the way a lot of people grow up. That's how I grew up. And then just by some random chance, I just got really passionate about like fitness and fucking the food you eat and shit. So, not everybody goes down that path. So a lot of people don't realize, like, if you're not getting all these essential nutrients, like in good amounts, eating like a well-balanced diet, like getting enough fruits, vegetables, proteins, like carbohydrates, fats, shit like that. If you aren't getting all that shit, your body is like not performing the best it can. And if you do start eating a super well-balanced diet like that, I promise you, you will notice a significant increase in like your energy levels and just feeling overall just like well in your body. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I actually have a note to add to that. I don't know how many of the people are people of color on here, but I think
that are listening or watching.
Yeah.
Like and comment if you're a person of color.
No, but like for real, because I think culture plays a big part on like what we eat. And me personally, because I am Mexican, a lot of our food is kind of on the fattier side. There's a lot of meat. There's a lot of like
hella bread and like rice and shit.
Yeah. And like I remember when I was going through my weight loss, well, I still am, but like my mom will look at me, my other mom, she'll look at me and she'll be like, what are you eating? And I'll be like, oh, I'm eating this chia pudding, blah blah blah. And she'll be like, oh, that's a white people, that's American food, because we don't eat that over there. And I was like, oh, okay. So there's a lot of... I
see what you're saying about it being a cultural thing.
Yeah.
You also got to keep in mind, she's a fucking boomer, so she does not know what she's talking about.
That is true, but like there's a lot of criticism, because I've seen a lot of other TikTokers like talk about it, where it's like, if you are like, in particular meme, like Mexican, and you start doing things out of the norm, eating things that aren't normal to them, they will judge you.
You get like judged by your fellow family and shit.
They'll judge you, they'll make fun of you, and even though they also fat shame you, they body shame you, but then you're trying to fix it and they'll shame you for what you're eating if it's not in that culture. And that's a difficult thing to deal with.
That sounds difficult as fuck. I had no idea. That's super interesting. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, it is. And it's like, I get called like, oh, you're so American, you're so whitewashed. Gringo. Yeah, for like eating like healthier foods. And
bitch,
yeah,
I want to live to see 70 years old. Sorry, I want to eat kale once a week just so I don't fucking die at 40.
Yeah, and so that's like one of the struggles personally for me, like, and when it comes to weight loss, is like dealing with that.
Bitch, we've already been rolling for 40 minutes. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
How do you feel?
I feel like this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I was nervous.
Yeah, Sunrise was big time nervous. Fucking pussy, am I right, guys? Just kidding. You're not a pussy. You're very brave for being here and talking about your weight struggles and your eating struggles and shit. And this is info that could help a lot of people that might be listening and might be struggling with weight, might be struggling with like judgmental family members who don't want them to eat white people food like kale and quinoa. And dude, fuck kale. Kale is so gross. It's
kale
so
is
bitter.
Good.
Fuck you, dude. Get out of here.
No, kale is good. Like in soup, but you don't like soup.
Who the fuck puts kale in soup? Why would you do that?
Well, like when you do like Italian beef and like kale and potatoes.
I don't know shit about shit. Okay. All I eat in my adult life is fucking I used to be chicken, rice, salad, almonds, and fruit like pineapple, watermelon, or grapes or something.
And cereal?
Yes, and honey bunches of oats with almonds. That was my entire, from fucking morning to night. That was my whole diet. Now it's not chicken and rice anymore. It's steak and rice.
Because there was a good deal?
Because I was very fucking tired of eating chicken every day. It's so like, chicken is like really kind of dry and not very juicy. I mean, it doesn't have to be dry if you cook it well. But the thing is, I was meal prepping, and so I'd have chicken in my fridge for like a week. And by the time you get to like day 5, that shit gets kind of dry. You feel me?
What I've been doing is like, because I make chia pudding in the morning to eat. And
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is?
Nope.
So you take 2 tablespoons of chia seeds, and then you put half a cup of like, I do almond milk, and then like some vanilla, and I stir it, and then I put it in the fridge, and then in the morning I'll put some almonds and like put a little whipped cream on it, and that's what I'll eat in the morning. So
it's like a cute little carbohydrate rich little boost to your day, a little breakfast time.
Yeah, I feel like it's good because like when you lose weight and you're in a caloric deficit, because you're in a caloric deficit and your body's adjusting, you don't have as much energy, so you be tired, and your body's
totally
preferred,
fucking true.
Yeah, and your body's preferred like source of like fuel is like carbs. So like I feel like in the morning that gives me the nice like filling boost to like get through work and then get out and then eat something else that's like higher in protein and lower in carbs.
Fair, dude. Totally fair. So this reminds me a lot of shit. I want to get into like my daily eating habits, but I got to finish like my whole eating history really quick.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I did P90X and I got really into eating healthy and shit. And like all the other kids who were like 13, 14, 12 or whatever were just like, what the fuck? Why are you worried about like eating spinach and like exercising and shit? You should be like jerking off and playing Foursquare. You feel me?
Yeah.
So they were just like, that's super strange. And that's totally fair. It is really strange. It's super strange that I got into health and fitness at such a young age. But so it got to the point where I was like 13-ish. and I had lost a lot of weight. I was no longer chubby, and I was like, fuck yeah, I'm a skinny guy again. But then I was in junior high, and some kids around me were getting real big and like armpit hair and shit, and they were getting all like swole, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm really skinny. And I was looking at my arms, and I was like, I got pussy ass arms. And so that's when I started to like weight lift a lot at the age of like 15, 14-ish, because I was like, I don't want pussy ass arms anymore, because like I went from chubby, and then I was super skinny, and I was like, now I want to get swole. And then I entered a very large phase in my life where I was hitting the gym. I was pumping that iron, and I was going like pumping iron consistently from the ages like 15 to 19. Long ass period of my life, like a quarter of my life. And that's also when I became a giant fucking douche as well, because I had that confidence because I was lifting a lot and I was noticing some change. I was like looking kind of beefy. My pecs were huge. Like, I just naturally, dude, when I was in like 4th grade, like 10 or 11, I started getting like titty meat. I was getting like man boobs. I was like, what's going on? Like, why are my titties so big? And all my friends would like make fun of my man titties all the time. It was really funny. I'm not going to lie. Shout out Evan, who would make fun of my man titties all the time. But yeah, that shit fucked with me at the time. I was like, guys, stop it. I don't have man boobs. But once I started lifting, that man boob turned into like big ass pecs, and I had like full on like tits. Do you remember when I was the titty man?
Yeah, I remember when you were super like buff, you know?
I don't think I was ever like buff, but there was a time where I was like kind of swole.
Bro, you had like a 6-pack and pecs, and like you had a really nice back and arms.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so for a long time I was in that stage where I was like lifting a lot and like super focused on lifting, and I would like intermittent fast during the week, and then I'd have a couple cheat days, and then this is kind of when I got into like sort of like the unhealthy eating habits, I guess. I sort of like the weird, like, I wouldn't call it like binge eating, but it's like on my cheat days, like I eat a lot. I fucking go all out. But you also got to keep in mind, my whole life I've just been able to eat a fuck ton of food, and that appetite has only gotten bigger as I get older. You feel me?
Yeah, you have like a fast metabolism, I feel.
I feel like my metabolism's like medium.
Yeah.
It definitely goes up and down. Like when I'm like eating a fuck ton, my metabolism speeds up a lot. So usually ideally, my diet is Sunday through Thursday is healthy, like intermittent fasting. Like I don't eat food after 7 p.m. and then I don't eat breakfast until like 9 a.m. the next day. So I get like 15-ish hours where I'm just not having food at all. And that shit really helps with, you know, like burning calories and shit, and like losing stubborn fat and shit like that. And then once Friday and Saturday come along, it's fucking showtime, and I can eat whatever the fuck I want. I always go hard. I go ham. At least that's how it was when I was in high school and shit, when I was lifting a lot. I was going fucking ham on my cheat days, and I have been having this diet plan since I was like 16, like I said. So it's been like 5 years or some shit like that. And I don't know, man. It's just super interesting looking back and just seeing how my body has totally like adapted and adjusted to this way of living. Like throughout the week, my body goes into like low metabolism mode because I'm not giving it a lot of food. Like I'm giving it enough, maybe like 1,200-ish calories a day, which is quite low. And some would argue I should probably eat more because I'm a larger person.
You should eat way more.
Maybe like 15.
For weight loss? Well, are you doing a weight loss or what are you doing?
Maintain, honestly.
If you're maintaining, you definitely have to eat more than that. Because that eating 1,200 is like weight loss. That's like you're losing 2 pounds a week. Or maybe more. But
the thing is, on my cheat days, that shit balances out.
I mean, yeah, but you shouldn't be eating like that.
So you think my shit is like too extreme? You think my low calories are too low, my high calories are too high? I should like meet somewhere in the middle?
Yes, you should.
And I think a lot of people would agree with that. And eventually, I will get to that point. I have noticed I've been a lot more mindful when it comes to my cheat meals and shit. When my mental health was really shitty back in like November of last year, I noticed like my eating habits were super unhealthy looking, you know? Yeah. Like on my cheat days, the binging would like get a little fucking crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. And that's the first time in my life where I actually like looked at my eating and was like, is this healthy? Am I doing the right thing for my body, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Super interesting history I have with food and shit. But nowadays, so back when I was 19, almost 20, I decided to stop weightlifting for the first time in like 5 years. And I decided to start doing MMA training. And the thing is, when I was weightlifting a lot, I did not focus on cardio at all. I did not give a fuck. And then one day I decided to do the Stairmaster after some weightlifting. And I was like, wow, this is way more difficult than it should be. I am way more out of shape than I thought. And that's when I realized, even if you look big as fuck, even if you look like you have a nice body, you still like, you might not be in great shape. Like your heart might still be not very, like your cardiovascular health might be kind of slacking. And that's not a good balance.
I think that's true. I think also like
I think a lot of bodybuilders get like that. You feel me? Because they only focus on the weightlifting and shit. And their heart is just in bad shape because they don't ever do cardio because they don't want to lose their gains. You feel me?
Well, I think the thing about that is
unless you're in like the cutting season. I mean, like that, not self-harming season. I mean, like the cutting the body fat, like for a show, you know?
Yeah.
There might be some bodybuilder watching this like, you don't know shit, dude. You do not know what you're talking about. But like, my bad. Like, dude, I should get a bodybuilder on this show. That'd be sick.
I can ask my friend if he wants to be on the show.
Is he big as fuck?
I mean, I think he does aesthetics, but he does
so he's
bulking
like
and cutting.
A physique bodybuilder?
Yeah.
It's one of the smaller bodybuilders.
I know.
I mean, that's still interesting.
I know a big bodybuilder. I don't know if you've heard of him. His name is C.
Nope.
So he goes to our gym.
Oh, fuck.
All you better beep that out.
I'm gonna beep that out. Let me write this down really quick.
But he goes to
52
our
minutes.
Gym.
He goes to EOS Fitness.
Yeah.
Right?
So he goes to our gym.
EOS Fitting these nuts. Sorry.
And he is huge. He's won so many competitions. He's the nicest guy ever. And you could totally ask him to be on the podcast.
Is it that big ass, like The Rock looking dude?
Yes.
Oh, that
I
makes
love
sense.
C.
Holy shit, I've never spoken to him. Yeah, what the fuck? He's super nice. I went to that gym and saw him like every, like 4 days a week, and he never said shit to me. He never said hi, anything. Like, do
you want to hear the most embarrassing story with that man?
Sure.
So, I don't think he would care if I said it.
How old is he?
He's in his 50s.
Oh my God.
But he looks so good, huh?
I mean, yes, in the body, he looks incredible. You would not expect him to be 50. No. But like now that you say that in the face, like I'm like, oh, okay. That kind of makes sense.
Yeah. So I was doing the leg press.
Not saying you look old as fuck. I'm just saying like you can definitely tell in the face. Like he's definitely not 20s or 30s.
So he's really nice, and I've been friends with him for a while. Not super close, just gym friends. But I was doing the leg press with my homegirl who's also friends with him. And this very attractive man walked by, and I turned to see, and I said, oh, that dude right there, he's like my type. And he was like, girl, go get your mans. And I was like, no. And like at the time when this happened, I was like 220 pounds. So I was looking real good. And I should have, but I like was like, no. And he's like, if you don't do it when he comes back out of the locker room, I'm going to do it for you. And I was like, no, don't do it. So he passed by. I didn't say anything. And then C goes over and scares the shit out of this boy because he's like, hey, boy, come here. And this dude scared shitless.
Yeah, I don't blame him because he is like 6'5", fucking 275 pounds, probably bigger. Fucking giant man. Looks like The Rock straight up.
Yeah, so he comes...
He could be a body double for The Rock. He could.
So he comes up to me. He comes up to us and then sees like, what's your name? And he says his name. And then he said, are you single? And he was like, yeah, why?
What if he thought this big-ass bodybuilder dude was trying to fuck?
And so then he says, this is my friend Sunrise. She's single too, and she thinks you're cute. And I was like, see? And I didn't say a single word to him because I was so shook that this happened.
This fool's uncomfortable as hell. Like, awkward-ass dad vibes. Jesus Christ.
So the dude, I end up getting his number, and I end up finding out how old he is. And he was entirely too young for me. Because at the time, I was like 19, and he was 17. Ooh. And I was like, you just look like you're 23. I'm sorry. Because he did. He looked like way older than me. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't. And so then I was like, no, we can't talk. Sorry. But that was a very embarrassing experience for me. But C is so friendly. He's so nice.
Well, shout out to C. If you somehow see this, You know, why didn't you say hi to me at the gym all those times? You know, I was going to that gym consistently for like 2 years. You didn't say hi. What's up, dude?
You know, he used to go to the gym. Well, I mean, he might still do it, but he would go in the mornings and at night.
Yep, I noticed that because sometimes I would go in the afternoon, like 5 or 6 p.m., and then sometimes I would go like in the morning, and I would go like 10 or 11 a.m., and he was there both times. He was always there.
And I asked him what his like routine was, and that's what he told me. He's like, I go in the morning and I go at night, and then on the weekends I still go in the morning and at night, except for Sundays he only goes in the morning.
Wow. God damn, what a fucking routine. You must just have to love the sport and love exercise and weightlifting that much to be that dedicated.
You know, maybe because like
I gotta be passionate about it. There's no way. Like you can't fake that motivation.
When I was like really deep in like my weight loss, like in 2020, like when I was super fit, that's what I would do is like, because I took 2 classes at our college and they were fitness classes, so it was cross training and strength training, so that was 2 hours of exercise that I would do.
Make sure the microphone, there you go.
And then
a little further, 1 inch, there you go
right there.
There you go.
Okay. And then after my 2 hours of working out at school, I would go to the gym still, and I would go hang out with like my personal trainer and stuff, and we would work out for like another hour. So I was like working out almost every day, like 3 hours, and it was like it was a great time. It didn't even feel like it was that much, but it was.
Make sure you're talking into the microphone.
Yeah.
Thank you. Super interesting. Wow. So here we are now. I've been MMA training for the past 9 months or so. I have not lifted a single weight since August of last year, and I don't know. So it's super interesting. Now, cardio-wise, my body, I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, bro. Jiu-jitsu, like MMA training, crazy cardio. You get in such good shape, bro. It whoops your ass. If you're trying to lose hella weight in a short amount of time, get into fucking jiu-jitsu and kickboxing and shit. Crazy cardio burn. Or get into swimming. Swimming is also crazy cardio. But there's a lot of options, okay? Don't just like get on the treadmill, because that shit is not sustainable. You're not going to enjoy it. Getting on the treadmill fucking sucks. Who likes to do that? Nobody. Run outside. Fuck the treadmill. God, I hate people who run on treadmills like regularly. It's like, bitch, go outside. Why do you want to be standing in the same place? You know what I'm saying?
No, because I like the treadmill.
Whatever, bro.
But I like the treadmill because, like, you already know I have bad knees.
Okay, all right, my bad. I was being ableist. My bad. I'm a piece of shit.
So I like being on the treadmill because it's just easier, because then when I stop, like, I just stop. But, like, actually, you're right, because I do a lot of swimming for my knees, too, to get better, because it's really good exercise.
Fuck yeah, it is. Fucking swimming is the best. But, so now, cardio-wise, I'm in the best shape of my fucking life, and it feels great. And I'm, like, surprised at how much muscle mass I've kept since not weightlifting. So, I don't know, I, like, look at my arms and shit and my pecs, and I'm like, I'm surprised they're not smaller. But I have definitely gotten significantly smaller since I used to lift weights consistently. And that kind of fucked with my body image at first. I was like, because I really enjoyed just being big. That was my goal. And I was like, this is kind of rough. But like, as time has gone on, I've kind of learned to accept and love my body for how it is. Like, if you think about it, if we were living back in like not caveman times, but like tribal times and shit, like, this is probably the body I would have, because you don't really weight lift in tribal times. You just do a fuck ton of cardio, because you gotta, like, you know, you gotta like kill dinner and shit. You gotta like run after a deer for 5 miles and then spear it in the face, and then fucking that's your dinner for the tribe for the like 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
You know, that's a really interesting way of thinking. I've never thought of it that way, but I think you're right.
Yeah, like, this is how my body would look at times when humans were super in touch with nature, when we were living in nature, not separate from it. So, I don't know. In that sense, I look at my body in the mirror and I appreciate it a lot, because I'm like, this is kind of like naturally how I would look in times of like tribal humans and shit. I mean, obviously there were big ass, buff ass dudes at that time, naturally, but I don't think really anybody at that time was just like recreationally like, I gotta get fucking swole, just doing fucking like bicep curls with like wooden logs or some shit, you know?
I don't know.
There was no like prehistoric bodybuilders. Do you think there was?
Yeah, maybe there was. You never know.
Super interesting.
Someone had to start bodybuilding, right?
I think it probably started when like we had consistent shelter and shit. Probably in like the 1800s is when a bodybuilder started. Yeah, because I think the bench press was invented in like 1860s or some shit. And I think like, yeah, that's when like gym equipment, weightlifting equipment started getting built, like the 1800s.
How much can you bench?
I don't know. I never did my max, but I think it was probably somewhere around my body weight. So it was probably somewhere around like 185. Maybe I could possibly get a 200. But my max was never like I never weightlifted for like strength. I always weightlifted for mass. You feel me?
Okay.
So I never did like 1 rep max, or like I would always do sets of like 8 to 12, like with every exercise. Unless it was like shoulders or some shit, then I would do sets of like 15. Sorry if you're listening to this and you don't give a fuck about fitness at all, and you're just like, holy fuck, no one cares. Like, make a dick joke or something, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, you know, that's the way shit goes sometimes. I'm pretty high, bro.
Are you?
Yeah.
What else do we have to talk about?
We got all kinds of shit, sis. Do you want some candies?
Candy?
Candies nuts fit in your mouth.
I fucking hate this kid.
Got him! Got him! Oh, fuck. Sorry for everybody listening. Well, no, I'm not sorry. Fuck you. But thank you for listening. Okay. So, here's a quick reminder if you're listening to this, watching this on YouTube. Smash that fucking like button for me. Okay, so yeah, do you have anything to plug? Because I think we're actually at about an hour, so I think we can wrap up. Holy fuck, we're at 1 hour and 2 minutes. You want to wrap this up? This feels like kind of a natural stopping point to me, if you ask me. What do you think?
Yeah, unless you want to talk about more things, but yeah, I think we can.
I really have nothing else on my mind except like I'm pretty baked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the only thing to plug is follow me on TikTok. Go look at my link tree.
What is your username?
Sunrise Mendoza. That's like my username on TikTok and Instagram. I'm like the easiest person to find. If you Google me, I'll be like probably one of the first results.
No, there's probably like a million Sunrise Mendozas.
No, there's really not.
Okay, that's fair. Sunrise is not a super common name, but like Sarai Mendoza, bitch, there's millions of those.
There's not millions, but there are hundreds. But
hundreds of thousands.
But I don't go by Sarai on my social media.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So if you look up Sunrise Mendoza, I will probably be the only person that pops up.
That's sick. I also am the same way. Chaputis is the only one that pops up, which is like super swag. We've gotten to that point. Okay, but guys, yeah, so reminder, smash that fucking like button. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for listening and supporting the show. God bless. If you have any questions, any comments, leave them in the fucking comments section below. Let me know if you have topics you want me to talk about. Let me know if you want, just like, let me know. Communication is key in this relationship you and I share together. So, just like do your part. Talk to me. Don't be a stranger. Share this with your friends if you enjoyed. Don't be selfish. Thank you guys for watching. Have a blessed day.